and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today I'm going to introduce you to a member of our fire department who is very hardworking. Her name is Pyper. Welcome, Pyper. How are you? You are a good girl. And I should also introduce you to Chris Person, who is her trainer, manager, and fire marshal host.
Yes, ma'am.
So she looks like such a sweet, playful, innocent dog. How does she help solve crimes?
This is a very sweet, playful, and let me add, energetic dog.
She is energetic.
But you know, she knows when it's time to go to work. It's like a light switch. If it's time to work, she turns everything off energy-wise, and she's just there to do a job. She's an accelerant detection canine, so she's looking for accelerants. And something that would take us hours and hours to do, she can go into a building and just finish clearing a room or a building in minutes.
Don't you wonder, like, who first thought of that? Who first realized that we could take a dog's sense of smell and train and enhance that, and they become a law enforcement? You know, it's amazing.
It is. Dogs are incredible creatures, and they can pretty much do anything if you train them right. It's impressive.
So, Chris, how did she get trained?
So she got trained in Maine by Paul Gallagher is the head trainer. It's Maine Specialty Dogs. State Farm is the program that actually provides the training and funding for the handlers and everything to go up there and do the training. We spent a month in New Hampshire, Maine area doing the training, and every day, Monday through Sunday, it was just consecutive work. We were with them nonstop.
So the minute you get off the plane, pretty much you find out who your dog is, you meet your dog.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's sort of your training, because she's been pre-trained at that point.
Correct. So it's a bunch of fire departments from all over, different agencies, task force. You fly in, they interview you, kind of try to pick which dog is best for you, a good fit, families, because these dogs do live with us, so they're looking at family members, how many kids you may have, and everything. So they try to pick the best dog that would work for you. And that night you fly in, you have a dog, and you got to take the kennel, everything up to your room and get to know her, because you're going to be spending plenty of time with her for as long as it is.
I don't think it's hard to get to know her, was it?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Well, I'm sure they're all wonderful. And the fire department's last dog, Taylor, was wonderful. Different breed.
She was a mix. She was a black lab. She was kind of longer hair than Pyper.
Okay.
But they're all usually labs because of their hard work, their drive, their ability to hunt. They like getting these dogs because they're retrievers.
Yeah, right.
So, they're hunting for that accelerant. They're hunting for that smell. And that's why they use labs. Also, labs are very forgiving animals. They're lovable, like we said, and forgiving. And when we're learning how to handle the dog, we make many mistakes. It's a learning process. And luckily for me, she's a very forgiving dog. So
she looks like it. So I'm going to back up just a second, because I keep getting distracted because she's so cute. But you said State Farm provides a lot of the underwriting for this effort.
Yes, ma'am.
How much would that cost?
So to put a handler, pay for meals, the training, the flights, everything like that, it'd be roughly around $26,000. And there's not many departments out there that would be able to send somebody off to complete the training, complete the school, to acquire an accelerant dog. And fortunately, State Farm is out there, and they do that for us, and I couldn't be any more grateful.
But it's not, not every locality gets one.
No, ma'am. Pyper is the only accelerant detection canine in this area. She serves the 7 cities. If anyone calls, we can go further than that. Taylor went up to Petersburg not too long before retirement and helped out up there. So if they, a city calls and asks for an accelerant dog, as long as there's a memorandum of agreement and everything, we can go out there and help them out to the best of our ability.
And in a lot of ways, that's true of the whole fire department. I mean, you guys have mutual aid agreements with Langley Air Force Base, with neighboring localities. If there's a huge fire, it's going to pull. I mean, people are going to need support. So it's a, I would think, a fairly close community, and you're all there.
For sure.
To save lives and property.
We may send a dog out to a neighboring locality, but they could be in our city working an incident with us. So it's like you said, a real tight kind of niche that everyone's helping everybody out, and it just kind of works. So
how often does she work?
So Pyper works every day. She has to, in order to eat, she has to work. Whether it's call outs.
Now that sounds mean, so explain that.
so Pyper there's two types of dogs when it comes to like law enforcement dogs. There's play reward, which is, she does a good deed, she finds what she's trained to find. You throw a ball, you love them up, get them excited and everything. That's play reward. Food reward dogs, they have to find their assigned task, like her odor, and once they find it, they get rewarded food. I feed her from my hand. She's never eaten out of a bowl since I've had her.
That's what stunned me when there was the retirement ceremony for Taylor, and they gave her a bowl because she'd never had a food bowl.
Yes, ma'am.
You forget sometimes, I mean, I do, you don't probably because you do it every day, but that truly they are working. Yes. I mean, I don't think the average citizen understands that exactly, because look at that. But you said, can turn it on in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. If I have a food pouch, and if she hears that click and she knows people could be beside her and everything, and she'd be ready to go. It's amazing to see. It's amazing and it's rewarding to see the training and just the click.
So how did you get the person who has the dog? I mean, is it you stepped up? Is it, boy, there was a competition, because who wouldn't want a dog?
Right. So there's only a few of us in the fire marshal's office, and Jesse, the canine handler before, I've had labs growing up, so I love labs, absolutely love them. And he was gracious enough to kind of turn the torch over to me in the aspect of becoming the new handler for the city. There wasn't really much, honestly, competition-wise, because it's a lot of work. It is truly a lot of work.
Yeah, she works all the time, so do you.
Right, exactly. We're on call pretty much 24/7. You never know when you're going to get a call to respond. So you always got to be ready, and that's a lot of people. Don't want to. They have families, they have kids, they have a lot of commitments.
It can be hard.
Right.
And you do when you're not called and training, you do regular fire marshal work.
Yes, ma'am. So we work, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 type schedule. We're out there doing inspections, and she can even ride along with me in I call it her hotel, because she has got a little luxury setup in the back of my truck, but she rides along with me. We do inspections on a daily basis, investigations, you name it. There's plenty of things that we do in the fire marshal's office. So
tell us a little bit more about her truck, because this is pretty cool.
So she has
not your truck, her truck.
Yeah, it's her truck.
Yes.
She's got a state-of-the-art canine kind of kennel system. The whole back seat of the truck is hers, pretty much. It's a big kennel which has sensors everywhere. It's air conditioned. It tells me, I have a little monitor that it'll tell me what the temperatures are at all times when she's in there. If it gets too hot, it'll turn a fan on for her, roll down a window. It'll start, if it gets exceptionally hot to where something's wrong or the truck stalled or anything like that, it'll start honking the horn. It can to make the sirens go off. It's a very safe truck because leaving a dog in the truck, not a lot of, but she loves it. She has her water bowl in there. It's a metal water bowl, and it's her headrest. She doesn't want anything but the water bowl for her headrest. So she is content, as you see.
So you have had her for how long?
Going on about 6 months, half a year.
And how many times have you and she been called out?
Oh, I'd say about roughly maybe 15 to 20 so far, but.
And so some of those times, I'm assuming there was no accelerant. She didn't find anything. It was, not a fire that was deliberately set.
Correct.
But has she found?
She has.
She has helped solve crimes.
Yes, ma'am. And there have been convictions just from her, not from her alone, because she's just a tool.
Right.
She's just a tool.
You still have to send it to the chemical,
the lab, everything like that. Yes, ma'am. She can't go to court and raise her right paw and testify.
They don't let you, do they?
She is just a four-legged tool that, it's her scent, and I kind of want to get into her scent, not to take us off topic or anything, but so like we all have favorite foods. So say mine's pizza. I walk into a room, I say, oh, somebody's cooking pizza. She walks in the room, she can break down that pizza as to what type of cheese they're using, the pepperonis, the type of pepperonis, all the different toppings, the crust, everything like that. It's remarkable how well they can break down different scents and discriminate between them.
And I didn't think about that. There are, because, I've never actually set a fire, probably dozens of accelerants.
There are, there's a lot of accelerants out there, but the thing is, when burning, anything, it puts off a lot of different gases, a lot of different smells, plastics, papers, woods, all kinds of stuff like that. And we actually do, it's called scent discrimination training. So she can discriminate, like I said, kind of like a pizza, with all those different smells. Say, hey, this is this is that, this is this is an accelerant. Hey, this is where it is. And, she's trained to find the source. She's finding essentially.
So not just say that was there, but go find.
Where it was exactly.
That is amazing. How did fire departments do this work before dogs?
Time consuming. You could get the job done. The accuracy with the dogs, it's so much helpful. Clearing a room, anything. We use just our training. It's all science-based. Mm-hmm. So we're looking for different patterns, different, variances and stuff like that. Where the dog, she's not looking for any of that. She's just looking for one thing only. And if it's there, she'll find it. And that's what really helps alleviate time. It saves the city money. It saves us time. It helps us get accurate results. We're pulling a sample, we can actually take it outside and have the dog rerun on the sample. And it's of course everything has to get confirmed through laboratory analysis, but she's good at what she does.
Got a good track record. So what does she do, when she's not out there sniffing something?
So she's just
besides hang out.
Yeah. So she's like a typical dog. She's really like if you think of a family pet, she's almost like a family pet in the way. Like when she's off duty, she's off duty. She's a normal dog. The only thing is when she eats, she just has to eat out of my hand, and it has to be training. So other than that,
Do you ever take her out for fire education or working with kids or anything?
Yes, ma'am. So she loves people.
Show.
She does. She loves people, and people love her. So we like to go do demonstrations. We've been to Virginia Beach to do a couple of demonstrations. We're actually going there next month to do a pretty big demonstration. And if anyone wants a demonstration, by all means, contact the Hampton Fire Marshal's office, and we'll be there. Kids love her. That's for sure. And it's cool that you can bring in, because stop, drop, and roll, everything like this, teaching kids and everything. Bringing a dog in, it kind of gets their attention. It kind of opens up their minds a little bit more.
Yeah, because they're talked to a lot.
Of course, right. Of course, you got to let them love on her for a little bit before.
Sure. That's wonderful. I mean, you know, the library found that too, that they have a pause to read program where there's therapy dogs, and kids who aren't sure their reading skills will read to a dog because they're not judgmental.
Yes,
they're not going to criticize.
Right.
And it's, you know, kind of a safe thing and a distraction. And yeah, it really, dogs relate so well. Well, is there anything else you want to add before we close?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, thanks to you for doing this because, you know, it is a huge commitment, as you say. She lives with you. You're on call all the time. You're training her all the time. You're getting recertified. And thanks to Pyper for her service to the city. I hope she has a long career because she's beautiful and we want to hang on to her. And thank you for what you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. And thank you for watching. I think this is a part of the fire department that not very many people know about, and it is interesting to learn and to understand how much work and time and effort Pyper saves us. Thanks for watching.